My grandmother looked straight at me and said my name. That doesn't sound terrifying, I know, but she hadn't spoken in 3 weeks. And just seconds before, she'd stared blankly at my uncle, her own son, like he was a stranger in her living room.
I'm Emma. I'm 22, and I'd just moved back home after college to help take care of Grandma Rose. She'd been diagnosed with dementia 2 years earlier, and it had been getting worse. Slowly at first, then all at once, the way these things go. The whole family had gathered that Sunday. My mom, my 2 uncles, a handful of cousins. We were sitting in Grandma's living room, trying to pretend everything was normal while she sat in her chair by the window, eyes glazed, hands folded in her lap like a wax figure. Uncle Mike had been trying to get her attention for 5 minutes. "Mom, it's me. Mike. Your son." Nothing. Not even a flicker. My cousin tried with old photos. My other uncle tried with her favorite hymn. Still nothing. It was like she'd gone somewhere far away, somewhere we couldn't follow. And then I walked past her chair to get a glass of water. Her hand shot out and grabbed my wrist. Not weakly. Firmly. Her cloudy eyes suddenly sharp and focused. "Emma," she whispered. Clear as daylight. The whole room went silent. "You came back to me," she said, smiling. "I knew you would. I should have felt relieved. Grateful even. But the way she looked at me, it wasn't quite right. Like she was seeing me but also, not me. And when I glanced at my mom, I saw something I'd never seen on her face before when it came to Grandma. Pure cold anger. After everyone left, Mom cornered me in the kitchen. "Don't do that again," she said quietly. "Do what?" "Encourage her. Get her worked up. It's not good for her." I stared at her. "Mom," she said my name. She recognized me. "Isn't that good?" "No, Emma. It's not." Her voice was tight, controlled. "You don't understand what you're doing. Then explain it to me." She just shook her head and walked away. That night, I couldn't sleep. I kept replaying the way Grandma had looked at me. The way she'd said you came back. Like I'd been gone. Like I was someone she'd lost. But I'd never left. I'd been here my whole life. Hadn't I? Over the next 2 weeks, things got stranger. Mom started making excuses to keep me away from Grandma. She'd schedule my shifts at the care rotation for times when she knew I had work. She'd suggest I focus on job hunting instead of draining myself with caretaker duties. But Grandma kept asking for me. The nurse told me in secret. "She doesn't say much anymore, honey. But when she does talk, it's your name. Over and over. Where's Emma? When is Emma coming?" So I went anyway. I told Mom I had errands and drove to Grandma's house on a Wednesday afternoon when I knew she'd be at work. Grandma was sitting in the same chair. She looked smaller than before. Frielier. But when I walked in, her face lit up. "There you are," she breathed. "My sweet girl." "Hi, Grandma," I said gently, kneeling beside her. She reached out and touched my hair. Stroked it the way you'd soothe a child. "I knew you'd come back," she whispered. I never stopped waiting. A chill ran through me. "Grandma, I've been here. I didn't go anywhere." She smiled, but it was distant. "Sad. 18 months, she said. "That's all I got. But you're here now. 18 months? I tried to ask her what she meant, but her eyes drifted away again, back to that faraway place. I sat with her for another hour, but she didn't speak again. Before I left, I noticed something. The door to the hallway closet, Grandma's old storage closet, was slightly ajar. I'd never seen it open before. Mom always said it was full of junk, nothing important. Curiosity pulled me toward it. Inside, I found boxes. Old photo albums. A dusty sewing kit. And in the back corner, a small wooden chest with a rusted latch. I opened it. Inside was a stack of letters tied with a faded blue ribbon. Beneath them, carefully folded, was a tiny pink sweater. Hand-knitted. Delicate. I lifted it, and my breath caught. Embroidered on the chest, in pale yellow thread, was a name. Emma. My hands started shaking. I untied the ribbon and opened the first letter. "My dearest Emma," it began. "You would have been 2 years old today." The date at the top, April 14th, 1983. I wasn't born until 2004. I read further. "I visit your grave every week. I talk to you like you're still here. Your father says I need to let go, but how can I? You were perfect. You were everything." My vision blurred. I tore through the other letters. All of them were the same. Written to a baby named Emma. A baby who died. The last letter was dated 1985. "I'm pregnant again. They say it's a girl. I should be happy, but all I feel is emptiness. She'll never be you." I dropped the letters. The baby Grandma was writing about. That was my mom. I confronted her that night. I walked into the house and threw the letters on the kitchen table in front of her. Who is she? I demanded. Mom's face went white. Where did you get those? Grandma's closet. Who was Emma? For a long moment she didn't answer. Then she sank into a chair, looking suddenly 20 years older. Your grandmother's first daughter, she said quietly. She died when she was 18 months old. Sudden illness. I didn't find out until I was a teenager. My stomach dropped. Grandma had another daughter? Before you. She nodded. Her name was Emma. Same as yours. Her voice cracked. Mom never got over it. Never. I grew up in that little girl's shadow. Every time I did something wrong, I felt like she was comparing me to the perfect child she lost. The one who never got the chance to disappoint her. Tears were streaming down her face now. When you were born, Mom asked if she could name you. I thought it was sweet. I didn't know, she choked on the words. I didn't know until you were 3 and I found those letters. She named you after her. After the daughter she actually loved. I felt like the floor had dropped out from under me. Mom, do you know what it's like? She whispered. To realize your own mother gave your daughter the name of the child she wishes you had been. I didn't know what to say. And now, Mom continued, voice breaking, even with dementia, even with her mind falling apart, she still remembers that Emma. Still reaches for her. Still loves her more than she ever loved me. She covered her face with her hands and sobbed. I didn't sleep that night either. The next morning I went back to Grandma's house. This time I brought the letters with me. She was awake, staring out the window. Grandma, I said softly. She turned. Smiled. Emma. Yes, I said. It's me. I sat beside her and took her hand. It was so small. So fragile. Grandma, I need to ask you something. Why did you name me Emma? For a moment her eyes cleared. Really truly cleared. And I saw her see me. Not the ghost of her lost child. Me. You know, she whispered. I do. Her lip trembled. A tear rolled down her cheek. I'm so sorry, she breathed. I'm so sorry. It's okay, Grandma. No. Her grip tightened. Not to you. To her. To my daughter. She looked past me toward the doorway. I turned. My mom was standing there. I hadn't heard her come in. Grandma's face crumpled. I'm sorry, she said again, this time looking directly at my mother. I was so lost. I didn't know how to love you when I was drowning. I'm so sorry, baby. I'm so sorry. Mom stood frozen for a long moment. Then she crossed the room, knelt beside Grandma's chair, and let herself be pulled into her mother's arms. They held each other and cried. I stepped back, tears streaming down my own face, and let them have that moment. The one they'd both needed for 40 years. Grandma passed away 6 weeks later, peacefully in her sleep. At the funeral, Mom gave a eulogy. She talked about grief, about generational pain, about learning to forgive people who were too broken to know they were hurting you. Afterward, she pulled me aside. Thank you, she said. For what? For being the bridge I couldn't build on my own. I hugged her tight. We started going to therapy together after that. It's still hard. Some wounds don't close easy. But we're trying. I kept the pink sweater. Not because I want to be a memorial to a child I never knew, but because it reminds me that love, even broken love, is still worth saving. And sometimes the people we're named after aren't burdens. They're just unfinished stories we get the chance to end differently.